Let's continue the discussion of the classwork worksheet. Yesterday I gave classwork worksheet for these simple molecules. Yesterday all of you already answered number 1. Now number 2. Number 2 is drawing the interaction between two hydrogen molecules to show the hydrogen bonding. These two lobes represent the lone pairs. The lone pair is making the nitrogen become dipole negative, while hydrogen become dipole positive. So there is an interaction between the partial charge. Partial charge is the negative, and then this is the positive. There is a dashed line. Dashed line here represents the hydrogen bonding. And then for number B, ammonia reacts with boron trichloride to form a molecule with the following structure. So there is a presence of lone pair in nitrogen. We know nitrogen contains 5 electrons in the outermost shell, and the 3 electrons has been occupied with hydrogen, so leaving with a lone pair. The lone pair donate and make a bond with the boron in covalently, so it is called as dative covalent bond. It is not transferring electrons, it is not sharing electrons, but combination. So dative covalent bond. And then for the electronegativity, number C, we know that electronegativity from left to the right, they increase. And then electronegativity is the ability of an atom or element to attract electrons or to withdraw electrons from another element or another atom, of course in covalent bond. Why? Because if in ionic it is transferring, it is not electronegativity. There is electropositivity in ionic bonding. And then suggest the formula of ionic compound here can be lithium fluoride, can be lithium oxide, can be lithium hydride. So the ionic bonding must form between pure metal and pure non-metal. Pure non-metal is metals from group 1 and group 2, while the non-metals from group 6, group 7, and this one is special. This is specific. Why? Because hydrogen, sometimes it can be positive, sometimes can be negative. Depends on the partner. If hydrogen has the partner of very electronegative element, then hydrogen will become positive. If the partner of hydrogen is pure metal, so the hydrogen will become negative, like in this one. Okay, next let's continue. This one suggests the formula of the compound that has the least polar. Least polar means that the difference in the electronegativity is near to 0. In here, between boron and hydrogen, see, hydrogen is 2.1, boron is 2. So the difference in the electronegativity is 0.1, which is close to 0. So it has the least difference in the electronegativity, therefore it is least polar. And then next question. Fluorine and iodine are elements in the group 7 of the periodic table. Explain why iodine has higher melting point than fluorine. If melting point here, we have to consider the size of the atoms. Of course, iodine has bigger atomic radius than fluorine. It is written on our data booklet. You must have your data booklet. You can download data booklet in Google or in CIE. Okay, and then secondly, iodine has higher melting point than fluorine because iodine has stronger van der Waals forces that makes iodine become solid than fluorine. Fluorine is gas at room temperature and pressure. And then B, draw the shape, this one, of an NHF2 molecule and shape of BF3 molecule. So here NHF2, this one, it has 3 bond pairs and 1 lone pair. And then while boron trifluoride has 3 bond pair and 0 lone pair. Okay, and then this one, the shape of NHF2 is 3 bond pairs with 1 lone pair is trigonal pyramidal. And then for 3 bond pairs without any lone pair, it is trigonal planar with angle of 120 degrees. And then suggest the value for F and F in NHF2. So the angle of NF, F and F. So this one, the angle is, because it is trigonal pyramidal, so the angle is 107. And then C, what is the strongest type of intermolecular force present in NHF2? It is the hydrogen bonding. Why hydrogen bonding? Because hydrogen is bonded to the nitrogen, not to the F. Okay. And then D, a molecule of this NHF2 with a molecule of BF3 shown in the following equation. State the type of bond. Okay, in the nitrogen in NHF2 there is a lone pair. There is a lone pair here. And then in BF3 there is no lone pair. So this lone pair make the active covalent bond to the boron. So the bond is the active covalent bond or coordinate bonding. How this bond occur? Because of the presence of lone pair donated to the BF3, which is donated. It means it is not transferring. Transferring is lost, but it is not lost. Okay. Next, fluorine forms compound to form liquid bromine trifluoride. Okay, and then what is the type of the bond? Type of the bond here is of course covalent. Bond is different from intermolecular forces. Bond is intramolecular forces between atoms. Intermolecular forces is between molecules. And then next, how this bond is formed? Covalent because they are sharing electrons, not transferring electrons. And then two molecules of BrF3 react to form ions as shown in the following equation. Draw the shape. So BrF3, this one like this. Why is it like this? Because around Br there are 7 electrons. 3 electrons occupied by fluorine, so remaining 4 electrons free. 4 electrons free becomes 2 lone pairs. This is the presence of 2 lone pairs. So the shape 3 bond pairs and 2 lone pairs. Based on the presentation that I give, 3 bond pairs, okay, and then also 3 bond pairs and 2 lone pairs. So it has the 3 bond pair and 2 lone pair. It has a T shaped with bond angle 90 degrees. Draw the structure of the ion BrF4, negative ion. So here, because there are 4 bond pairs with 2 lone pairs, 4 bond pair and 2 lone pairs, we can consider this one as a 90-degree angle. Why? Because it is we have to adjust this one. This one, the lone pair, we note based on the concept VSEPR, lone pairs repels the most. So this one, this lone pair and lone pair repels the most. Lone pair with bone pair repel less. But the least is bone pair and bone pair. So bone pair and bone pair repels the least. In this ion, O's are formed when potassium fluoride (Kf) dissolved in bromine trifluoride to form KBrF4. In terms of bonding, why KBrF4 has a high melting point? So it has a high melting point because it is ionic bonding. Why ionic bonding? Because this one is a unity as an ion, polyatomic ion, react with potassium ion. Potassium ion is a pure metal, group 1. So group 1 reacts with the non-metal, polyatomic non-metal ions to become ionic bonding. Now D. Fluorine reacts with hydrogen to form hydrogen fluoride. The strongest, we know that when hydrogen react or combine chemically with electronegative element, so it has a hydrogen bonding. Draw diagram to show how two molecules of hydrogen fluoride are attracted. Similarly, like the two molecules of ammonia, so this is two molecules of hydrogen fluoride. Of course, they will form hydrogen bonding. So this dashed line represent the hydrogen bonding. Now number 5. Okay, draw the shape of pH3 molecule. Okay, draw the pH3 molecule. Phosphorus has 5 electrons in the outermost shell. 3 has been occupied with hydrogen, so leaving with 2 electrons free. 2 electrons free become a pair of electrons. State the type of bond that is formed between pH3 molecule and H plus ion. What is the name of the bond? The bond in here is dative covalent bond. How come dative covalent bond? Because phosphorus has a lone pair that can be donated to the H plus ion. That is the mechanism how the bond is formed. Now predict the angle of the pH4 positive ion. Let's see here. There are pH4 positive ion. So it is like an ammonium ion because nitrogen and phosphorus, they come from the same group. So the pH4 ion, the shape is tetrahedral with angle 109.5 or 109 degrees. Okay, although phosphine molecules contain hydrogen atoms, there is no hydrogen bonding between phosphine molecules. Why? Because the phosphorus is not as electronegative as nitrogen. So the difference in the electronegativity between phosphorus and hydrogen is little. That's why it does not have hydrogen bonding. And then now number 6. Aluminium and thallium are elements in group 3 of the periodic table, right? The formation of aluminum chloride from its element. So aluminium metal plus 1.5 or 3/2 chlorine gas become aluminium chloride, AlCl3. B. An ammonium chloride molecule reacts with chloride ion to form AlCl4 negative ion. Of course, there is a ammonium chloride ion named the type of bond formed in this reaction. Explain how this type this type of bond is formed in AlCl4 negative. It is the bond is active covalent bond because there are some lone pairs in the chlorine atom that can make the active covalent bond to the AlCl3. Okay, and then aluminum chloride has relative molecular mass of 267 in gaseous state. Deduce the formula of aluminum compound that has relative molecular mass of 267. So we have to do a simple calculation. The molar mass of aluminum chloride AlCl3, and then we have to find the molar and then we have to find the number of AlCl3 required to form 267 molar mass. So the formula is Al2Cl6. And then number D, deduce the name of formula of compound that has the same number of atoms, the same number of electrons, and the same shape as AlCl4 negative. It is silicon tetrachloride. Why is it silicon tetrachloride? Because there are 4 electrons around chlorine. Okay, and silicon tetrachloride also came from active covalent bond similar to AlCl4 negative. And draw the shape and name of the shape of thallium bromide, TlBr5 2 negative. So this is the drawing. Tl forming 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 covalent bond with the bromine. So it has 5 bond pairs, and 0 lone pair. So it is called as trigonal bipyramidal with an angle of 90 and 120 degrees Celsius. 90 degrees and 120 degrees. Explain why TlCl2 plus ion has the shape that you have drawn in part F1. Okay, draw the shape of the TlCl positive ion. So this is like this. It is linear without any lone pair. Why? Because Tl has 2 electrons in the outermost shell. And then explain why TlCl2 has the shape that you have drawn, because there are 2 electrons in the outermost shell, and then these 2 electrons repel. So they are in the position of as far as possible. And then the last question, page 6 here, which one of the first, second, and third ionization energies of thallium produces an ion with electron configuration of xenon 5d10 6s1. Okay, so it has to be the second ionization energy. You must refer to the periodic table and also the data booklet, and then you make the electronic configuration, the subshell electronic configuration of SPTF, and you will find that the second ionization energy will produce the electronic configuration of 5d10 6s1. Okay, so this is the discussion of the simple molecules homework that I give for grade 11 on 6th July 2020.